Have you ever felt like the past holds you captive like a silent shadow you can't escape? You might be living in the present, but is your mind still trapped in what once was? Today, we'll explore 5 practical Stoic steps to help you let go of the past without losing the lessons it taught you. The past is a strange thing. It exists only in memory, yet its power to shape our emotions, decisions, and even our identity is undeniable. Many people live as prisoners of their past, haunted by regret, consumed by resentment, or shackled by former failures. But the Stoics understood a powerful truth. The past is unchangeable, but its hold on us is entirely within our control. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Do not waste what remains of your life, speculating about others unless it is for mutual benefit." In other words, dwelling on the past is one of the most dangerous wastes of our lives. If you truly seek freedom, you must learn to let go of the past without letting go of its lessons. Here are 5 Stoic steps to help you make peace with your past and move forward with strength. 1. Accept that the past is fixed. Only your perception of it can change it. First and most crucial step is radical acceptance. You cannot change what has happened, no matter how much you wish you could. But what can change is how you interpret it. Epictetus reminds us, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. Your suffering doesn't come from the event itself, it comes from the story you've told yourself about it. Why this works? Fighting the past is like fighting the wind. It's a battle you will never win. Once you accept that the past cannot be changed, you can refocus your energy on what can be changed, the present and the future. Shifting your perception transforms pain into wisdom instead of regret. How to apply it? Whenever you catch yourself wishing things had gone differently, say to yourself, "It happened. It cannot be undone, but I decide what it means." Reframe painful memories as lessons. Instead of saying "I failed," say "I learned something important." Practice radical acceptance. The past doesn't need your permission to exist, but you don't need to let it define you either. Stoic reminder, you cannot rewrite the past, but you can rewrite your relationship with it. 2. Stop letting the past define your present. Identity. One of the greatest mistakes people make is defining themselves by their past, by their mistakes, failures, or traumas. They carry their past like a heavy burden, believing it is who they are rather than what they've experienced. Seneca wrote, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." Your past is not your identity, it is simply a chapter in your story. Why this works? If you define yourself by your past, you stay trapped in it. True freedom begins when you realize you are not your history. You are your habits, your choices, and your mindset. Today. 3. The past gives you the space to redefine yourself. Each day is a blank canvas, and you are the artist. Have you ever caught yourself saying, "I'm this way because of my past"? If so, pause. Then say instead, "I choose to be this way now." Transformation doesn't start in the past, it begins with the decisions you make today. Shift from identity-based thinking to action-based thinking. For example, don't say "I'm a failure." Say, "I failed, but I can succeed next." Each day is an opportunity to start over. The person you choose to be today matters far more than the person you used to be. Stoic reminder, you are not what happened to you, you are what you do next. 4. Release the illusion that justice will fix your pain. Many hold on to past wounds because they believe justice must come before healing, whether it's someone who wronged them, an unfair situation, or even life itself. They believe peace can only come when fairness is restored. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Meaning, true justice is not external, it is internal. Why this works? The universe owes you no fairness, but you owe yourself peace. Waiting for an apology, karma, or fairness keeps you chained to the past. Letting go is not weakness, it's choosing to deny power to those who hurt you. How to apply it? Say to yourself, "Justice is not in my control, but my peace is." If you're waiting for an apology, stop. Instead of needing someone else's words to heal, choose to heal on your own. You don't need revenge. The best way to win is to live well and leave the past behind. Stoic reminder, justice may never come, but your inner peace doesn't have to wait for it. 5. Separate what happened from the story you tell about events happen. But the emotions we feel about them, they come from the stories we tell ourselves. Epictetus taught, it is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments about them. So, the past isn't haunting you, your interpretation of it is. Why this works? When you change the meaning you assign to a memory, you change its emotional power. Most of our suffering doesn't come from the event, it comes from what we make it mean. How to apply it? Write down a painful memory. Now write alternative versions of what it could mean. Choose the version that makes you stronger. Ask yourself, is this the only way to see this? The answer is always no. Transform wounds into wisdom. Instead of I was abandoned, say I learned self-reliance. Stoic reminder, the past does not define. Use 6. Use the present to overwrite the past. You can't erase the past, but you can make it irrelevant. One of the most powerful ways to make peace with what's behind you is to live so fully in the present that the past no longer has space to breathe. The Stoics believe that the present moment is the only thing that truly exists. Everything else just memory or imagination. Marcus Aurelius wrote, confine yourself to the present. Every second you spend dwelling on the past is a second stolen from your life. Why this works? You cannot delete the past, but you can crowd it out with better experiences, habits, and choices. When your full attention is rooted in the present, the past fades into the background like a shadow in sunlight. How to apply it? Build a future so strong that the past becomes irrelevant. When your mind drifts to old memories, interrupt it. Do something meaningful now. Create new memories that rise above the old ones. The past may be real, but so is your power to create better stories. Stoic reminder, you cannot change the past, but you can outgrow it. 7. Forgive not because they deserve it, but because too many people cling to resentment, believing that to forgive is to excuse. But the Stoics saw forgiveness differently. It's not about letting someone off the hook, it's about freeing yourself from unnecessary suffering. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. In other words, holding on to resentment keeps you emotionally tied to the one who hurt you. Forgiveness cuts the rope, it sets you free. Why this works? Forgiveness isn't about them, it's about you, your peace, your freedom. Anger poisons only the one who carries it. Letting go of bitterness is the first step to walking forward unburdened. How to apply it? Forgive quietly. Expect nothing in return. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Shift your mindset from they hurt me to I refuse to let them continue to hurt me. Understand, forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It means releasing emotional attachment. Stoic reminder, forgiveness is not weakness. It's reclaiming your peace from those who don't deserve it. 8. Stop glorifying what could have been. Known of the most deceptive traps of the past is the illusion of what could have been. Many people remain stuck fantasizing about a missed opportunity, a failed relationship, or a path they didn't take. But these are illusions. They never truly existed. Seneca warned, he who indulges in empty hopes resembles the traveler who puts up a tent in the desert. Are you pitching a tent where there is no ground beneath your feet? Why this matters? You can't fully live the life in front of you if you're still clinging to one that never came to be. Life doesn't happen in what-ifs. It happens here and now. 8. The more you romanticize the past, the more you lose the present. In this, you're a traveler, stopping at a roadside inn. But instead of setting your baggage down, you carry it on your shoulders even while trying to rest. Seneca compared those trapped in past fantasies to such a traveler. He who indulges in empty hopes resembles the traveler who puts up at an inn and carries his baggage on his shoulders. The more you cling to what could have been, the more you rob yourself of what is. Why this works? What could have been is not reality, it's illusion. You're mourning something that never truly existed. And while you replay imagined scenes of the past, you're missing very real opportunities in front of you. Only when you stop looking backward can you begin to build something real. How to apply it? Catch yourself when your mind whispers, if only. Interrupt it immediately. Replace it with, what can I do now? Focus on what remains, not what was lost. Your future depends on what you still have, not on what's gone. Remind yourself, if it was meant to be, it would have happened. The fact that it didn't means something else is meant for me. Stoic reminder, you cannot build a future while clinging to a fantasy of the past. 9. Recognize that your pain is part of your strength. If you could erase all the pain in your past, would you really be happier? Many believe so, but the Stoics saw pain as a sculptor. It molds you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Epictetus said, difficulties show men what they are. Therefore, when a difficulty arises, remember that you are being tested. Everything you've been through has forged strength in you that you may not even realize yet. Why this works? Every hardship taught you something, each one added to your emotional armor. Your past pain didn't break you, it prepared you. When you see suffering as a tool for growth, you stop seeing yourself as a victim and start seeing yourself as a survivor. How to apply it? List the strengths you've gained from adversity. How did they shape your resilience? Ask yourself, what did this teach me that I wouldn't have learned otherwise? Don't wish for an easier past. Be grateful for the strength it gave you. Stoic reminder, you are not broken by your past. You are built by it. 10. Accept that not everything needs closure. Many people stay trapped in the past, thinking they need answers or apologies to move on. But closure is a myth, a story we tell ourselves to justify holding on. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you always own the option of having no opinion. Things need not touch the soul. You don't need an apology. You don't need to know why it happened. You only need to decide, it no longer owns me. Why this works? Not everything will make sense. Some things just happen. The longer you wait for closure, the more power you give away. True freedom comes when you let go, even without the answers. 11. The moment you give yourself closure, you take your power back. Have you ever waited for an apology, explanation, or validation to finally feel at peace? If so, it's time to stop. Your peace should never depend on someone else's actions. Waiting puts your happiness in their hands. Accept that not everything comes with a clear explanation. Life isn't a neatly written story. Some chapters end without a satisfying conclusion, and that's okay. How to apply it? Stop waiting. Tell yourself, I have the power to end this chapter, even without the perfect punctuation. Stoic reminder, you don't need closure. You need freedom from the past. 12. Focus on what you can give, not what you've lost. One of the best ways to break free from the past is to redirect your energy outward. Instead of asking, what was taken from me? Ask, what can I give to the world? Seneca wrote, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Time spent dwelling on the past is time stolen from what you could be creating now. Why this works? When you focus on giving and building, your attention shifts from lost to possibility. Contribution creates purpose, and purpose dissolves regret. You can't change the past, but you can build a meaningful future. How to apply it? Find a way to contribute through teaching, mentoring, or creating something of value. Channel your past into something useful. Turn pain into art, wisdom, or a guide for others. Ask yourself, how can I use what I've learned to help someone else? Stoic reminder, you cannot change what has happened, but you can decide what to do with it. Final thoughts, the past is only as heavy as you allow it to be. Many people live their entire lives dragging the past behind them like a heavy chain. But the Stoics teach us this, that weight is self-imposed. The past is not an anchor, it's a lesson. And once it's learned, you are free to move forward. The 10 Stoic steps to make peace with your past. 1. Accept that the past is fixed, only your perception of it can change. 2. Stop letting the past define your present identity. 3. Release the illusion that justice will fix your pain. 4. Separate what happened from the story you tell yourself about it. 5. Use the present to overwrite the past. 6. Forgive not because they deserve it, but because you do. 7. Stop glorifying what could have been. 8. Recognize that your pain is part of your strength. 9. Accept that not everything needs closure. 10. Focus on what you can give, not what you've lost. Marcus Aurelius reminds, US, think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now, take what's left and live it properly. The past is done. The real question is, what will you do with the time you have left? The past is not a sentence. It's not a curse. It's a quiet teacher, firm, sometimes harsh, but always full of lessons. And if you're willing to face it, learn from it, and let it go, you'll realize the past no longer drives you. You do not know one can rewrite time, but everyone can choose how to live what remains. So live as if you're writing the newest chapter of your life with intention, self-compassion, and the freedom of a heart unchained. You don't need to change your past. You only need to choose how you move forward from here.